I'm sorry, I was busy entertaining myself. I wasn't paying attention to what was going on. It's like most of you out there that aren't paying attention to what's going on. What is going on? Do you know? Do you actually know? Do you know what socialism is? Do you? Really? You don't. All you hear is the word free. Free this, free that. And you're in it. I'll vote for Bernie. He's going to give us free stuff. Why not? Everybody likes free stuff, right? Yeah. There's a problem with that. Somewhere, somebody has to pay for it. That's just the way it is. Now, in a socialist society, you can be taxed up to 100%. That what you want? Are you paying attention? Or is your face still in your device? Huh? Do you actually know what's going on in this country? There's a virus, coronavirus. People are freaking out about it. The mainstream media is saying that Donald Trump isn't worth a hoot. He's not doing a thing about it. He doesn't care. He's doing more than Obama did. Because there was a virus that came through, and it took 1,000 people dying in 6 months before anything was ever done. In the Obama administration. But now, President Trump, within 3 weeks, okay, that's a little bit shorter time than 6 months, has taken care of, as best he can, what he feels is the best way to take care of it. And he just doesn't, oh, well, let's just do this. I'll do this, and then I'll be the hero, and everything will be good. No. He has talked to people. He has talked to medical professionals. He's talked to pharmaceutical professionals. He's talked to people that know what they're doing. And so he has done what he feels should be done. And so he is doing for us. Okay? I don't trust any of the Democratic candidates, since most of them have dropped out anyway, that they would do anything about it, really, except tax you more. They say, oh, there's a virus. You caught the virus, you're going to have to be taxed on that one. Oh, you died from it? Well, then we're going to have to take everything else that you left behind. It's insane. People are so stuck in these things that they don't know what's going on. They don't care. All they care about is me, me, me. Well, what about your future? What about 10 years from now? What about if there is a socialist put in? Okay? I put 2 links in the description. One is from 1965. And it's a very well-respected professional radio broadcaster by the name of Paul Harvey. And he goes through what happens to countries that were once democracies, but then turned to socialism. Now, he got out of the business, and I believe he passed away, before Venezuela. So, I also put the second link in there, is Venezuela socialism. And I was astounded at what I heard that those people were doing. People were standing in food lines. Food lines. Okay, you go to a line to get some food. And the woman there was allotted 1 can of food. That was it. That was all they gave her, was 1 can of food. They can't even afford toilet paper down there. Is that what you want? Oh, of course you don't care. Because you want your free college tuition, free health care, free everything. It's not going to work. And I came across something today in my thinking. Why do the Democrats, they hate Bernie Sanders. They don't want him. They don't want him in. Why? Because he would turn the country socialist, flip it overnight. They don't want that. They want to slowly turn the country socialist so that you don't really feel it. Raise your taxes a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. They won't notice. Take this, demand that, give nothing. They won't know. They won't feel it. Because it's slow, a slow progression from democracy to socialism. That's what they want. Because see, if they flipped it overnight, there'd be a revolution. I guarantee it. This country would revolt just like that. But if it's done slowly, over time, especially with the kids coming up now, if you're 20 years old, you didn't live through the Twin Towers being terrorized with 2 airplanes crashing into them, and then an airplane crashing into the Pentagon, and another plane was aimed, they say, at the White House, but it was taken down in a farm field in Pennsylvania because the people were notified by a phone call that 2 planes had already crashed into the Trade Center and the Pentagon. And so they decided that it wasn't going to happen that way. Brave men decided they weren't going to let that happen, and they didn't. That's what this country's about. Not socialism. But you people out there that just, and I titled this, Don't Watch This, You Don't Care. Because you don't. There are so many people out there that don't care about your brother. You don't care if your neighbor lives or dies. You just don't care. As long as you have this, you don't care. And the news that you get, where do you get your news from? Some guy on here? He said that Trump called the coronavirus a hoax. Yeah, that's what the mainstream media is saying. It's not a hoax, and that's not what he said. He said that the Democrats are making it a hoax. The mainstream media is making it a hoax. It's not a hoax. It's serious. People are dying from it, and they don't care. They really don't. As long as they can get that little bug in your ear. Get that little bug in your ear. Pass it on. Pass it on. Make sure that everybody that's not paying attention to what's really going on, that doesn't really know what socialism is, make sure that they hear it. Make sure that they hate Trump. Spread the hatred. They don't care. As long as they can, they don't care. As long as they can get stoned, drunk, chase money and women, they don't care. Well, you're going to care if you put a socialist in the White House and he flips this country to socialism and you ain't got squat. And you have these violent criminals running the streets. That was another thing in the Venezuela socialist piece that I listened to today. The violence in the streets down there is that the gangs basically are running the streets. Is that what you want? To have gang members running up and down your street? They don't like what you do, they shoot you? That's it? Period? In fact, part of that, they show a little piece, a few second clip of a man that got shot right in front of everybody on the street. Is that what you want? Of course, you don't care. You're not listening to anything that anybody says that's true. You don't want to spend a minute on thinking about what could the future be? How could the future be bad? What can I do to keep the future from being bad? I have my face stuck in my... So I don't care. They give me free college. I don't care. I'll take it. Yeah, is that fair? Is that really fair? You get free college, and then you go and get a higher paying job than, say, the guy that's got a high school diploma? Is it? You make, say, $20, $30 an hour more than he does, and you don't have to pay for the tuition, for the college education that you got? That's fair? But see, that's where the line draws. Anything that costs money is not going to be free. Nothing. Healthcare, free? No. Forget that. They're saying it would cost trillions of dollars in order to have one-payer health care. Where does that come from? They say it's going to come from the upper 1%, the richest of the rich. No, it won't, because the richest of the rich will say, hey, I'll give you, say, a couple $1 million, leave me alone. And they'll say, oh, we'll tax the middle class then. Ta-da! Now you're losing money. Now not only do you not have a job, but if you do get a job, say at McDonald's, flipping burgers for $15 an hour, most of that's going to go to taxes, if you can keep your job. And part of what Paul Harvey said was there was once a day that man would work for his pay, not go to work to get paid. Do nothing. Just do as little as possible to make as much as possible. Back in 150 years ago, Americans knew if you don't work, you ain't going to eat. They cared. They knew what was going on. They knew the truth of the democracy, the republic that was set up by the forefathers, the founders of this country. They knew. They didn't have their heads stuck in something so far that they couldn't get it out. They knew what was going on. They read the papers. And back then, journalism was journalism. And they told the truth. Because they knew the only thing they had was the truth. They couldn't go making up stories out of thin air just to make $1. They didn't do it that way back then. They told the truth because they knew that the truth is what the people needed to hear. They needed to know what was going on in Washington, D.C. They needed to know so that they could make educated decisions on who to put in Washington, D.C. If somebody was doing wrong, they got them out. Vote them out. We don't want that. We want what we have. I want what I have, and I want my kids to have what I have. I don't want them to grow up in a socialist society, being tyrannized and oppressed, having everything taken from them. In fact, there was a guy in Los Angeles, California, that wanted to remove some homeless people from his property. His bought and paid for property. He wanted them off. A judge said, no, you don't own that property and you can't force these people off. And he said, yes, I do own this property. I paid for it and I pay taxes on it. And the judge still said, no, I'm the one that says who stays and who goes. And you cannot evict these people from your property. That is getting ridiculous. Then what? Then what? What's next? Well, one of these days, I've said it before and I'll say it again, Los Angeles wasn't built on the west coast of California, on the beach, for no reason at all, just because it's nice out there. Nope. It was built out there because God, the Creator, put the San Andreas Fault underneath it, so that when God gets tired of these evil and the sinful nature of the people out there, it's going to happen. That fault's going to bust. And it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad, extremely bad. People don't want to believe it. They don't want to believe God. They don't want to spend 5 minutes a day reading their Bible, studying, looking, seeking. Who is this Creator? How did we get here? Instead, all they want is to be entertained. Entertain me. That's so important to me. Entertainment. That's the least important thing that you can do in your entire lifetime. There are so many more things that are of greater importance. And one of them is your spiritual health. I want to show you something. Here. See that? That's a Honda Goldwing. That's my motorcycle. Okay? Now, how do I know that people have their faces stuck in these things? How do I know? I've almost been hit a number of times on my motorcycle just while driving around town. And this is a very, very small town of 6,000 people. Okay? I've almost been hit because people have their faces stuck in these. And it makes me so mad that the respect for life is gone. All you want is yourself. Self. Me. Entertain me. Give me entertainment. I'll go to work and sit at my desk and look at this. Forget work. I want to play. There are too many people in this country that are just ignorant of everything that's going on. They don't want to know the truth. Because it might hurt, I guess. But it doesn't. The truth is a wonderful thing. It beats being lied to. It beats being told, oh, we'll give you everything for free. And then they take everything from you. Which is what they want. That's what they want to do. Wake up. Please. That's all I've got for today. I'm so sick of these socialist, Democrat, do-nothing people in this country. We are a country that was built on work, on doing, not sitting around waiting for something to happen. Being so lazy that we have the government do everything for us. No, I'm sick of that. I really am. I ask that you pray for our president, for our country. I ask that you pray for military, police, first responders, and such. Please, learn, live, vote for Christian conservatives, Republicans, people that will keep this country moving forward. I thank you for watching. I'm William Ferguson, and this is Common Sense.